Hey guys, how's it going? It's the King of Steve here, and this is my second part to the other video that I've just made about how I make my backgrounds. If you didn't watch it, go check it out. It's pretty much on how I make the text using Cinema 4D and how I made the 3D text that I would normally use for my backgrounds. So, if you want to learn how to make the text, then you need to check out that video first. If you don't have Cinema 4D and you just skipped the video and you want it to look your background to look really ugly, then that's fine. But pretty much what we're gonna do now is open up the new YouTube template, because pretty soon everyone's gonna have to be switching over to this one, and it doesn't give you a choice on whether you want the old background or not. But open this up. You can probably just find a template like this anywhere. If you can't find one for some reason, message me and I'll go ahead and send you pretty much anything that you need. Just make sure you message me. But we're gonna take my text and go ahead and put it in this. I'm just gonna try to make it not touch the avatar part. I don't really care too much about the social links since I don't really have any. But just press Control A and then go to this little thing, and that'll put it in the center of your thing. And you could go ahead and make it go to the middle too if you want. Now I'm just going to get rid of the hide the avatar and social area thing. And pretty much what makes everything look good is color correction. If you don't use a color correction, then your background probably looks really bad. I'm just gonna pick a random one right here. This one looks pretty cool. I just downloaded this pack, this color correction pack, because I'm not super good at making them, and it'd probably take a long time to make all the color corrections and stuff. So you just drag that on. I'm not sure. Oh, okay, so it's all sideways and stuff. Whoa, okay. I'm just gonna resize this a little bit so it actually fills the whole screen like that, and go ahead and apply it. And you can already see that it's starting to look a little better. Like the colors, this is what it looked like normally. Now it's a little bit more together. I guess the colors are all together. And actually, I'm gonna take this, move it up here, because this is all that I'm working with right now, is this little strip. And then pretty much the second thing that you need to do, honestly, making backgrounds is not really that hard. You just need to get some stuff and use that. Something that's used pretty much in every background is a flare. I just have a flare right here. I'm just gonna drag it on like that. So you put in your flare, put it, I actually don't like to put it under the color correction because it looks a little weird. So I put it over the color correction, so that way there's a little bit of the glow still out there. Then go to this little circle thing right here and go to hue and saturation, and kind of make it around the same color as the text. And you can see what this hue and saturation thing did is it changed like the color of everything. So what you want to do is right click and go to create clipping mask right under the flare, so that way it only affects the flare. And now you can kind of see it a little better and change it up a little bit more. I'm just gonna make it like that, like that color. You can also put one on the bottom. Just take both of these and then duplicate them and go ahead and put it on the bottom like that. This is going to be pretty simple. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because it's already been 4 minutes and I haven't even done anything yet. So now what you need to do is get some random stuff, cool looking textures, maybe get some particles like that, and put them on your background like that. Just put them around the top so it looks like there's little bit of particles coming from the top. And to make the flare pop out a little bit more and to add like a little bit of lighting, just go over to your brush and make it a white soft brush. You don't have to like download anything, just a soft brush like that. Put the hardness at 0 and just kind of make like a little bit of light, kind of like that, and it just makes it pop out a little bit more. Something else that I like to do that I don't really see anywhere else is take the brush, the same soft brush, put the opacity at about 5, make this a little smaller, and kind of just go down so it looks kind of like a heavenly looking thing. I don't know, I kind of like how that looks. Other than that, you can also just add textures and stuff, which will always just make it look better. Here's a really awesome texture that I like, and I'm just going to drag it in. Maybe take some other things too. You can just download a pack or something, and it'll probably have the same textures. This is another one that's used almost in every background that everyone uses. It's really overused space text. And then there's another one that I really like, not that one, around here, right there. I'm just gonna drag all of these in first, and I'll show you what to do with them. So we're gonna start off with this little texture right here. This just, as you can see, it just adds a little bit to the bottom. You can also duplicate it and add some on the top, and it just makes it, the texture, look a little bit better. As for this thing, this little space thing, it looks a little bad right now, so what you want to do is go to put it under your color correction. Now it looks a little bit better, and then there's that little space thing. Again, you can go ahead and duplicate it, and it doesn't really look too good when it's like that, so I'm just going to press Control T and rotate it around a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of see what looks good to me. I guess that looks alright. So at least there's something. You can just edit around a little bit. I'm just going to erase part of that space thing because it looked weird. And then I'm just going to duplicate this because there's not very much going on the left. Just add like a little bit right there. And I'm pretty much done with that. It's already starting to look pretty good. There's my cat. But, yeah, something else. Yeah, there's this texture. Whoops, why do I keep doing that? What you want to do is just go over here and put this to hard light. Looks really bad right now, so just put the opacity down to about 20. Then take your eraser tool, set the hardness to 0, and then go up here, set the opacity to about 50, and just erase what's around the text. And if you set the opacity to 50, it's not going to erase all of the texture, so it won't be like complete. It'll still be on the text, just not as much. And just kind of erase it a little bit, and that makes it look a lot better. Adds a little bit more to it. Pretty much all you need to do is add some more. I'm probably gonna get a couple more like textures and stuff because I'm using the same ones a lot. I'm just using the ones that I already know for the sake of this video's time. It's already been 9 minutes, and that's way too long. So I'm just gonna stick to the things that I know, pretty much. And yeah, so I'm gonna just use this thing. Again, put it under the color correction. That looks awesome. This looks pretty similar to the last speed art that I made, if you didn't see. I'm just gonna try to make it similar to that. And you can go ahead and edit it as much as you want. This is just what I'm used to making. And a couple other things you can do to mess around with the text is go ahead and duplicate the text, get a smudge, get your smudge tool, and this is a really cool smudge thing that I use. I'm just gonna kind of smudge around the outside of it so it looks like that. Maybe put the opacity down to about 50. That looks pretty good. Then go over to the original text, and this kind of makes it blend in a little bit more. I'm just gonna like smudge around the edges a little bit so it looks like it's kind of crumbling into the background. I think it looks super cool. This smudge brush doesn't come with Photoshop. You have to get your own smudge brushes. The ones that are already on Photoshop just look pretty bad. So I'm just gonna smudge it around a little bit. And a final thing that you can do is go over to your drag in your text again like this. Just make it a little bit smaller. I'm trying to keep everything inside of this little box right here. So just have it like that. Maybe make it a little bit smaller actually. And go to filter, blur, and motion blur. Just make the distance, I don't know, just anything that looks good. I'm just gonna keep mine at like 50 or something. And lower the opacity down. And if you want, you can go ahead, take your eraser tool and kind of just erase the outside a little bit so it blends in a little more. So that looks pretty cool. I actually like this background a lot. It's turning out pretty nice. Maybe I just add a couple more things, but honestly it comes down to like textures and stuff to make it look really good. This is another good texture that I use a lot. I'm just going to drag that in, put it under the color correction. This is pretty much just like a copy and paste thing, and it is super easy. Whoops, was not supposed to move that. This again makes it look cool. Maybe put those on the sides and then put one over here. Press Ctrl T to rotate it. Maybe put that over here. So this is turning out pretty nice, I think. I just need to make a couple more adjustments. There's a couple other things that I really like to do on all of my things. And the first thing is to make a gradient map. Set it to black and white so it looks like this. Then go to soft light and turn the opacity down to 50 so it makes it look a little bit darker. And then probably the coolest thing that I'd like to do at the end of all of my stuff is go to gradient maps, make another one, and pick purple and orange. And it'll look pretty weird at first, but what you do is go to soft light, make it soft light, and put the opacity down to about 50. And that just adds a lot more. The colors just look a little bit better. This is what it looks like without those, and then this is what it looks like with them. It just looks so much better. And then a final thing that you should always do is go to make a new layer, go to image, apply image, press OK. That pretty much takes all of your work and puts it into one image. Then go to filter, sharpen, and then sharpen the image. And now what you can do is go to your blur tool and just blur parts of it to make it focus more on the actual text itself. Maybe blur the corners of the text. And it's hardly noticeable, but it looks really good. Another thing that you can do is make a new layer and take your paint bucket tool, make it black, and go over to, well, double click it, then press pattern overlay, and make a pattern, a line, pretty much a line pattern. You can actually just get a line overlay thing that you can probably just download anywhere. This just makes horizontal lines pretty much like that, and you can see it looks really bad. So turn the opacity down a bit. It still looks really dark. So just go to your eraser tool and erase the outside of it. Actually, I need to move this up, the opacity back to 100, so it actually erases all of it. And you can just kind of go like that. Maybe put the opacity, actually switch it from overlay and put it to maybe lighten. Yeah, if you put it on lighten, it's hardly, the color difference is hardly noticeable, but you can see that there's like little horizontal lines. It just makes it look really cool, in my opinion. Again, you can go ahead and use your blur tool, blur the lines a little bit. But this video has taken a while. It's been 16 minutes. I'm surprised if you guys are even watching this part by now, but if you are, that's pretty much it for the video. If you want to save it, go to File, Save for Web and Devices. I don't know, a couple people might not know about this, but you do that and save it as a PNG-24. It's the best quality compared to a JPEG or something. You can see this thing up here. Then just press save. Pick wherever you want to save it. I'm just going to make it King Text King BG. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the video. Hopefully you watched all of it and you learned a couple things. Make sure you comment and rate, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff, and let me know if you want to see more of this type of stuff. Give me suggestions on anything that you want to see, and I'll probably make a video about it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. I will see you guys in the next one.